Hello, welcome to another episode where we shall be looking at the proposed memorandum of mathematical literacy, grade 10, paper 1 for June 2025. So this paper is from Johannesburg West, one of the leading districts within the country. So if it's your first time on this channel, please do subscribe and leave some comment or like whatever is going to happen here, okay? So when we look at this paper, it was a 50-mark question paper with 1 hour as the duration. So we have an annexure. So paper consists of 4 questions. You need to answer all of them. We need to use annexure A for question 2.2. Okay, so we need to number that. Instructions are just a formality there as always. We just need to remember what is happening there. Okay, with question 1, they are telling us that Mr. Jacobus Solomons is banking with Silvercoin Banking. Use the bank statement below to answer the questions. Okay, so what we can see, we're seeing the name, the address, okay, the code, and then we're seeing the type of bank that is using, and then the type of account, the account number, and then the period of the statement. And we're seeing the descriptions, okay? And then the following dates and the amounts as well as the balance at the end of those particular transaction days. And then 1.1, what type of account is this? So the fact that this is an active save account, it simply means that this is a savings account. All right. And then write down the account number. So the account number is just right there. So it's going to be 405-8779-5821. Okay, and then what do the words opening balance mean? So we're gonna say that this is the balance, okay, at the start of the transaction period. So if you're focusing on, let's say, on a monthly basis being your transaction period, so the balance at the start of the month is what we are calling the opening balance. Okay, then identify all the bank charges on the statement and calculate the total paid for the bank charges. So with the opening balance, of course, there's no transaction, you're just carrying over the money. But there's this top order, which is by the money market, okay? There's an ATM payment. Okay, there's a transaction charge of 15 rands. So I'm gonna say this is 15 rands. Plus there's a direct debit, which is the tracker. So this is taken away. And then there's a transaction charge of 6 rands. And then there's a check deposit. There's a direct debit. And then there's this transaction fee, which is a +3. But now we also have this admin fee. So this admin fee is also a bank charge, okay, because the bank takes it away. So then, if that is true, if that is correct, we just have to plus those and then we get our answer. So that's a 20 plus 18, which gives us 38 rands, okay, in bank charges. All right, then arrange the identified bank charges in descending order. So from the biggest, okay? So the biggest of them is the 14 rands, followed by, no, it's the 15 rands, followed by the 14, the 6, and then the 3 rands. Then question 2. Okay, so with question number 2, we've been told that the formula can be used to determine the monthly cost of electricity on an electricity bill, okay? So what we need to do, 5,50 multiplied by S plus 1,5 multiplied by E, where S is the size of the circuit breaker, and then E will be the number of units. Note that these rates above do not have the 15% of VAT. So what does VAT stand for? This is value added tax. Okay, that's the meaning of VAT. And then use the formula in the table above to determine the cost of using these units on a 60 amp circuit breaker. using the VAT inclusive price. Okay. And so what we're going to do, let's start by substituting. Okay. So let's get the VAT exclusive price. So we said 5,50 multiplied by the circuit size, which is 60, plus 1,50 multiplied by the 525. Okay, so when I simplify this, so I'll have 5,50 times 60. Why don't I just write this side and say that my 5, let's see. We're saying 5,50 multiplied by 60 plus 1,5 multiplied by 200. It's 525. Okay. Okay, so when we multiply 5,50 times 60, I'm getting 330. And then 1,5 times 525, we're getting 787,50. And then we need to add this together. Okay, so when I plus that, I'm getting 1,170.50 cents. Okay, so this is the amount without the VAT. Now, for me to include the VAT, I can get 15 over 100 multiplied by 1117,50. Okay. What do we get there? We say times 15 over 100. This becomes 167,625, which is like 63. Then I need to plus and get the VAT plus the original amount that needs to be paid. Okay. So meaning that I'll have 1,117,50, meaning that the total amount that will be paid will be 1.285,13 rands. Okay, that is one way of doing it. Alternatively, after getting this answer, it will be 1,117,50. Multiply this by 1,15 or 115 over 100. So this should be able to give us the answer straight away without breaking it down into VAT and what, because the VAT inclusive must be 115. Okay, this becomes 118.65. Why are we getting different answers? Something is off. We said times, not plus. Okay, so when you do that, we must get the same answers, which is 1285,13. Okay, so that is how we would have approached that question. Then 2.2, they want us to study the bank fee table of this bank on Annexure A and answer the questions. They want us to calculate the cost to deposit 2,750 over the counter. So let's see Annexure A, 27. Okay, there we go. Axis Bank. So we're looking at 2,750, this deposit, how much? Number one, maintenance fees of service. Our focus is the deposit, but we are depositing over the counter. All right, so what we do, you have to pay the 9.50 cents, and then you must pay 2.5% of the deposit amount. Okay, so I'm going to say 9,5, okay, plus 2,5 over 100 multiplied by the deposit amount, which is 2,750. Okay, so that's 9,5 plus the 2,5 over 100, multiplying it by 2,750, that gives me the 68,75. And then when I plus this together, this is going to give me an answer of 78,25 rands. So that becomes the amount that's going to be charged for that. And then next, they want us to give the advantages of saving your money. So now there are quite a number of advantages of saving money, okay? In our normal school setting, you might have been told that money can be saved just for future references, okay, for future purposes. But what we can say right now is that one, it offers you some bit of freedom. Why? Because you're not going to stress about where am I going to get money just in case I get an issue or if I get a problem, okay? And then we can say that the family will have something. Family has something to rely on, okay, during tough times, okay, during tough times. And then someone can also say that you're in position to take calculated risks. Okay, in other words, you're able to face any sort of challenge if you know you have money in the bank. Okay, like when you remember the times of COVID, for people that had some money in the bank, they did not feel the pain or the effect of the lockdown because there was money that was saved. Now, if you have money, let's say if you are saving your money, let's say you have something that is unfortunate that comes up. Let's say someone just gets ill all of a sudden and they need a lot of money, or there's an emergency and somebody needs to travel. That money that you've been saving can quickly help you out. All right. Then question number 3. Okay, question number 3. They are telling us that Mr. Fraser read an article in the Road Port Record that shows the number of call center agents that work at Chelsea call center across the country, and then this is the table. Then the first question is asking us for the mode. Now, we know that mode is the number that appears the most, okay? So with this, which number is that? We have 97, we have 98, we have 92 and 92. So you can see that 92 is our mode, okay? So 92 becomes the mode. And name one instrument that could have been used to gather the information. So you can use a questionnaire. Okay, questionnaire is basically an instrument that can be used. Okay, then determine. Okay, determine the range. We know that for us to get the range, you must get the maximum minus the minimum, or the highest minus the lowest. So our maximum is a 98. And then our minimum is a 72. Okay, so 98 minus 72 gives me a 26. So that becomes our range. And then 3.4, they want us to calculate the mean. So for us to get the mean, you must get the sum of all the items. You divide it by the number of all the items, meaning that we're going to plus all these numbers together. Okay, we just add and plus. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to divide by 10. All right, so 95 plus 94 plus 77 plus 72 plus 92 plus 97 plus 73 plus 98 plus 92 plus 83. That gives me 873. Okay, meaning that our sum is going to be 873. We divide it by 10. Our answer must be 87.3. It told us to round off the answer to the nearest whole number, meaning that our answer should be roughly 87. All right, then Mr. Fraser stated that the median of the data is 92. Can we verify showing whether the statement is correct? So whenever we're looking for the median, okay, it's advisable for us to arrange the data in ascending order or descending. What matters is that the data needs to be in order, arranged. So we can start with a 7.2. Okay, there was a 7.3. And then we can see a 7.7. And then we can also see 8.3. And then from there, we can see 292s. And then from the 292s, we have a 94. Okay, there's a 94. There's a 95. There's a 97. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. From 97, we also have a 98. Good. So we cancel out this with that, this with that, this with this one. Number 4 with number 4, and then we are left with 92. So it's going to be 92 plus 92 divided by 2. Okay, so we know that 92 times 2 is giving us 184. And we divide by 2, meaning that the median is 92. So this person stated that the median for the data is 92. Can we verify? So now since we calculated, then we can just draw the conclusion that therefore the median is 92. All right, so that is how we do 3.5. Then question 4, lastly, they are telling us that this person is planning on traveling from Florida to Bloemfontein to visit the uncle. The uncle lives 397 kilometers from him. All right. Calculate how long it will take. So how long means we need the time. It's going to take if the uncle uses a speed of this. So we know the distance. Okay, so our distance is 397. Our time is what we need if the speed is 110. So for us to get the time, they said we must get the distance over the speed. So just use the formula the way it is. So 397 divided by the 110. 397 divided by 110, it gives us 3.61 hours. Okay, 3.61 hours. Then 4.1.2, this person stated that it will cost him a return trip to 355. If the average cost per liter of diesel is this, the fuel consumption of the car is this much. Can we verify using calculations? Okay, so step number 1, we want to see how many liters of fuel is this person going to use for just the 1 way. So we can start by asking ourselves, how many 100s do we have in the 397? Okay, so we can say that 397 divided by 100. So we're going to get 3.97. Remember, this is just a one-way trip that I'm looking at. So if we have 3.97, I'm going to multiply this by the 9.5. Still a one-way trip. So 3.97 multiplied by 9.5, meaning that we're going to need 37.715 liters of diesel. Okay. Then I'm going to multiply this by the cost of each liter, which is 23.17. Okay. Multiplied by 23.17, this becomes 873.86 rands. So this is how much this person is going to spend on fuel just for one trip. Then if I multiply this by 2, because I need a return trip, okay, the answer times 2, I'm going to have 1747.71. Oops, why am I saying 71? Because they said 873.86 times 2. It should be 47.72. Yeah, well, all right, so that is 4.1.2. So we haven't answered the question, by the way. They're asking us to verify, show whether the statement is correct or not, because they told us that this person stated that it will cost him for a return trip to 355. So we can say that therefore the statement is incorrect or invalid. The statement is incorrect because he uses less than 2.3. But if they were asking to say that maybe is the 2355 enough for the trip, then definitely it is. All right, then 4.2, the weather forecast predicts that 0.65 chance of rain for the day. This person is planning on traveling. Write down the probability as a percentage. So it's going to be 0.65 multiplied by 100, which becomes 65%. So does this mean that it will definitely rain on that day? Explain your answer. The answer is a no. Why? Because there is a 35% chance of no rain. Okay, remember, even if it's 99% that it's going to rain, the fact that there's a 1% of no raining is not a guarantee that's going to rain, unless if you have 100% guarantee that yes, it's going to rain. And that can only happen when it is, or when the rain is falling, or when it is raining. Okay, so in that case, that is that. Okay, guys, so that is the end of the paper. I wish you all the best. If you have any issues, any comments, please feel free to throw them in the comment section. And if you've not yet subscribed at this point, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button and follow us on other platforms as well. I wish you all the best in your preparation for paper 2. Let's meet then. Bye-bye.